All right. So I tried to make a video earlier, but I guess at the timing that I had my eureka moment, and they, of course, they're getting real time, data transmission from my brain to the cloud. So they knew to basically block my neurons at that very moment, so then I couldn't remember all that I wanted to say. But I'm gonna just keep it short. I know I say that every video, but I'm gonna keep this one short because I know exactly what has to be said. It's not enough that we have bullies in the world, right? Right? It's not enough that we got, criminals who, well, let's just say there's like 2 or 3 types of criminals. You got people who break crimes because they're just trying to feed their family, whatever, the situation is, something like that. And then you got crimes being committed where people just want to actually hurt someone else. Like they just actually want to take from someone else. Doesn't matter if that person did anything wrong to them or whatever. They just felt like flexing. Flexing, for some of you who probably don't know certain slang terms or whatever, flexing is like, for an example, it's like Superman knows he's like the most strongest person on the planet. He knows he could do whatever. Superman knows he has the ability to do so many things, but yet he actually chooses not to do it. He actually chooses not to do things that he know he can completely dominate in, and then be completely selfish with it. That's like one form of not flexing, right? That's what you call not flexing. Like he has the means, but he doesn't use it. He has the moral compass to not flex. Now here's the thing, right? Oh snap, the lady just said secret society as soon as I went by her. She said now it's secret society. So anyway, I know I got that on camera. I know I got that. Anyway, so think about it like this. You have the technological capabilities of actually changing someone from being an angry, disoriented, disgruntled, I don't know, emotionally unstable, whatever the terms are. You have the technological capabilities of changing that person's life completely around, from a downward spiral to an upward spiral. You have that ability. But instead of doing that, what do? They use the technology to actually take from people who are not a threat to anyone's way of life, as long as, peace, love, honesty, things of that sort is a part of that person's life. But if you're living a certain type of lifestyle where, quote unquote, people get hurt in your lifestyle, shit just happens and that's just the way it is, then it's like, it's gonna be a little dicey. Still trying to maintain my train of thought, but as I'm trying to maintain my train of thought, that pressure keeps building up on the right side of my skull. Every time I try to keep a train of thought, that pressure builds up. And then if I put my fingers right next to my head, it doesn't even have to touch my head. It just needs to be next to my head. I can put my hand next to my head and I will feel the vibrations of the frequency going through the air. I can feel the vibration of the frequency traveling through air. Think about it like this. Please look up what is wireless energy transfer. Look up what is wireless energy transfer. You can literally feel whatever the source that the frequency is coming from is powerful enough to travel the energy through air without it losing power. Meaning you can feel the vibration of the frequency because it's not losing power. That's how they're able to basically hit us continuously without it ever like really losing any like I don't know. I feel like decades ago, or maybe not even decades ago, when telecommunications was more in like the 2Gs or whatever, targeting back then, I know that through some research, the tracking was much slower, right? Tracking was much slower. Now, because of 5G, they can keep that tracking system like permanently on you because it has like it has you locked, it has you like locked on, like it's locked on you. Rather, back in the day, there was like a lag. The wave was basically following you rather than just like being on you. Nowadays, it's like basically having a bubble of synthetic energy surrounding your body's natural electromagnetic field. But anyway, so I'm like, if they gonna come all out at me, then I might as well just be all out in the light too. So, is that? No, that's not right. Oh. Anyway, I'm trying my best to just put it all out there because I know at some point they're going to take my life, or at least God is going to allow them. But then at the same time, I know that my death will not go in vain. So no matter what they do to me, there is a ton of karma coming for every single person involved. And like I told you before, I don't really have a problem with the technology itself. It's the intentions of those using it. And then the fact that they're doing it in secrecy, they doing some messed up stuff to people. Because anything you gotta do in secret, they destroying people's lives. Anything that has to be done in secret, that's hurting somebody. Secrets don't help nobody. Secrets don't help nobody. It actually hinders you even more. Secrets actually become a crutch. Secrets actually cripples people. Why? Because it's something that you have to hide. Anything that you have to hide, you're using energy. Anything that's using unnecessary energy, like hiding things that is from the past, it's like, do you know how much energy you're wasting on something that already happened? It's like what they do when they want to extort somebody. They'll tell somebody, "Oh, we got your memories. We're gonna tell everybody. We're gonna show everybody your memories. The whole city has your memories." For me personally, I don't have anything in my memories that one can incriminate me, because I've never killed nobody, I've never sexually assaulted nobody, I've never raped anybody. There's nothing in my memories that could actually incriminate me, even if they were to be on some Minority Report shit. There's nothing in my background that they can use to incriminate me, right? So here's what they do, right? I don't know, because DARPA and the military, they got all kinds of projects that they need testing for and shit like that. And some things they can't make public because they're in races with other countries. But the crazy part is, they're not even really in a race with other countries. Because in all of these countries that we supposedly are, either allies or enemies with, they're all a part of the same freaking secret societies. They're all a part of the same freaking secret society. Putin, all of them, they all in bed with each other at the end of the day. You gotta realize most of the stuff you see on TV, it's meant to be a distraction. It's meant to distract you. It's meant to basically veer you from ever knowing what the truth really is. You know, all these movies, these sci-fi movies that, you know, make it seem like, oh, this is fictional, this is fiction. Some of these sci-fi movies are not that fictional at all. Whew. Anyway, yeah, so apparently I pissed off quite a lot of people here in New York City without them ever saying a word. They're gonna keep it in secret. So I'm like, all right, you hold that emotion in you and let that shit eat up at you. I'm gonna continue to let mine out. Because I mean, I have learned to manage my emotional energy, what they call it. I have learned to manage my energy so much more than their system can probably manage theirs. Here's the thing. If the system glitches on everyone, what do you think is going to happen to all of them? If the system were to get like a virus or some type of malware, what do you think is going to happen to everybody linked up to these servers? And then lo and behold, we still don't really know the long-term effects of having the nanotechnology and the extra radiation beaming down in our bodies. And you know, the nanobots are basically, you know, they're all in your brain, all in your bloodstream. They're everywhere in your body, and they're all generating energy, radiation basically, which means they're pumping more radiation. The nanobots are actually putting more radiation in your body. As a human being, you are fully organic. There shouldn't be much of you that is like inorganic. But, you know, who knows, with all the secret testings and, yeah, let's just call them secret testings that they have out here. Who knows? Maybe most people that we see walking around these days aren't necessarily human anymore. And I'm not going to say like alien, like outer space alien. I mean like their genetic makeup, everything about them that made them human is probably no longer there. They have been transhumanized. I'll be back. All right, yeah. So I don't really remember much of what I was talking about beforehand. I try to just do these while the memory is still fresh in my mind or whatever, but then once something happens and it breaks my concentration, I just lose everything. They only let me have a short window of consecutive flowing thoughts, you know, to be able to like carry conversations or to be able to remember details about specific, you know, things. You know, like it's hard for me to remember certain types of things like numbers and names and things I used to be able to remember. All of a sudden I struggle with it so badly. And I'm only 34 years old. I'm only 34. I've never really had any serious traumatic head injuries. Never had a stroke. Never had a heart attack. Never had a brain aneurysm. Never had a blood clot. Never had any of these things. And yet, my memory, especially when you check my report from the quantum resonance, what is it called? A quantum resonance scanner that checks basically the energy level of all the cells in your body. And it shows that my memory index is damn near close to zero. And that's because of with the technology that they're using, they have possession of my memory processing, my memory cortex, and they're limiting what I can and cannot remember, or they're basically controlling what I can and cannot recall. Now, I don't necessarily believe that my memory is just completely gone. I think they just have it captive. I don't think that the neurons, I don't think the actual information itself is gone. I think what they've done was they basically overheated or extracted as much of the energy, or I guess you could call the bioelectric data. They've extracted enough of it so that they can replicate it, and then made it so that it's harder for me to force those neurons to fire because they already have possession of the neurons. Or I don't know. This is the best thing I could think of right now. But I know someone in neuroscience, nanotechnology, somebody who has to be an ethics, person, or someone with moral standards when it comes to the advancement of artificial intelligence, has to know exactly what I'm talking about. But I don't know, it's kind of one of those things where we're just gonna have to wait to see how it plays out. But anyway, I'm doing my best to not end up, infamous. I'm doing my best to not end up I hate when I have to come to a full stop, because it's like, do you know how hard it is to get this going? So it's like when I try to time it so then I don't have to come to a full stop, because it's so annoying to try to get all that momentum going again. Anyway, yeah, so I'm pretty sure at any given moment, if somebody was given the green light, they'd probably, take me out, because people are dying for far less offenses. Today, I mean, hell, some people dying just by walking down the street. They wasn't even part of nothing. They just happened to be the wrong place, wrong time. So then I started thinking to myself earlier this morning, I'm like, humans, we really think we're some special creatures, honestly. We actually value our lives. We actually think our lives mean more than any other living creature on this planet. We think nothing of the life of, let's say, the bug we're about to kill. Even though the bug is not harmful to us, we don't necessarily think much about the bug we're about to kill. Oh, but we think about the life of someone we're about to kill. We think about that. We don't think about the bird that we're about to shoot so we can eat it. Or, or some people actually do, what they call honest hunting, or what do they call it? I forgot. It's basically when you actually pay respect to the animal that you killed, because you're actually using it for the purpose of survival, and not just to hoard it and then keep it for yourself. You actually respect the life that you just took. Why? Because that was an energy source you just took from the universe, or you just took someone's life force. I feel like, I don't know, how many animals just kill things just to kill things? I feel like humans are the only creatures that kill just to kill. I feel like most of the animal kingdom only take a life if it's either threatening them, or if it's going to eat that thing. Humans are the only ones that kill just because we might actually get a thrill out of what we just did. And then it's even worse for humanity when the person thinks, I just killed and got away with it. So that's even worse. That's even worse. That's even 10 times worse. Imagine if a lion became super intelligent, right? And then a lion just be like, yo, I'm about to kill one of these zookeepers, and I'm gonna do it in such a way that nobody is going to find out that it was me. And I'm gonna sit right here in their face while they're looking, and they ain't gonna see no marks on me. They just gonna see the body. That's what this whole thing is. It's like, imagine being able to steal someone's memory and they never know that you were there and you stole their memory. It's like, imagine being able to steal someone's privacy and they never knew that you were there. Imagine, like, imagine since birth you were stolen and you never knew that your whole entire life was basically a made-up story, and then the secret society recorded your entire life and made it seem like it was a movie, like the Truman Show. It's just so much to dissect in this whole thing. It's so much to dissect. Anyway, they want me to stop talking because they are doing a great job with everyone else. Everyone else who don't know about what's happening, everyone else who's basically giving in to the threats, everyone else who's basically afraid to be killed for doing the right thing. And I'm actually glad I'm in this position, because it takes people like me in my position, people who don't have, like, I mean, honestly, I feel bad that, yes, my mother's been targeted anyway. She actually tried to take on the Federal Reserve Bank of New York in a lawsuit, and actually pretty much won it too. So she's being targeted for that, and that's since the 80s. Now, I don't think my sister's being targeted, but I would feel bad that things will start messing up with her because of me, but at the same time, I can't control what somebody else is doing. I can't control that. I can't control what somebody else is doing. And then it's to say, oh, but why won't you just stop? Why won't you just stop? You tell them to stop. It's like, people always want to think like, oh, maybe you just put too much energy into it. Maybe you do this. Maybe you give them too much power. It's like, do you know what it feels like to have pains and things happening in your body that you can tell is coming from an external source and it's not originating from your body? And then you have the voices of 4 people who are sitting somewhere in some fucking remote location, some room somewhere out here in New York City, probably somewhere in the Bronx where this all originated, sitting somewhere basically trying to drive me into a psychosis using repetitive statements, character assassinations, demoralization, trying to do everything in their power to basically not really even Myron May me, but like to try to see if they could turn me into, well, exactly what the media likes. But I said, look, they found the right godly person. Even though I might not be the most perfect saint, and ain't nobody in this world perfect, but I at least do my best not to get caught up in the mix. I have spent 32 years of my life not getting caught up in other people's mess. I spent 32 years of my life keeping myself out of messes that I couldn't get myself out of. I feel like maybe that's why they had to come this hard at me. That's why they had to use the V2K. That's why they had to try to, use their direct energy weapons that's supposed to be secretive, but the prosperity of fools usually boasts a lot of arrogance. So they had to use the secret weapons against me because it's too good not to. I mean, it's like they're using their trump card when it's not necessary. But that's because they're on a totally different spectrum of this warfare. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this last route. I'm trying my best to help TIs all around the world find some source of strength especially when it seems like, when you look to other people to try to find some help, it seems like other humans, it's hard to find help from other people or whatever. Then you got the whole idea like you're not sure who's a gang stalker or not, and well, all that really matters, all that truly matters is that you master controlling everything that you think, everything that you say, and everything that you do. That's all you truly need to master, is mastering yourself. You have children? Cool. Teach them to master themselves. We can try to do as much as we want to try to see if we can get our children to be this way, that way, this way. But at the end of the day, they still have to make the choice. That's free will. They have a choice to make. They have to choose the type of life that they want to live and whatnot. I don't know. It's always so much to want to have to like dissect or just really just try to open up when you want to really get into the nitty gritty about what you're experiencing. And then I try my best to always seem very lucid, very articulate, and very calm when I do these videos. Why? Because I gotta be consistent. Just as they're consistent with their slander campaigns and trying to get people who don't even know about the situation to somehow develop a hate towards me, even though they don't know me. Why is this guy continue to silent? But anyway, y'all do what y'all can, right? I'm gonna keep doing what I can. Anything new that I come to, understand or learn about all of this, I'm always gonna try to see if I can get it out to y'all. If y'all want to find me on Facebook, Christopher B. James on Facebook. Make sure you look up, and I think I might have it under Brooklyn, New York. You could also try looking under Bronx, New York. But yeah, I'm doing what I can to try to protect myself without incriminating myself. They want me to do this. They want me to basically go about this whole situation by their means. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna play their game. Why would I play their game? They've been winning at their game for so long. What they seem to really hate the most, or probably really dislike, is the exposure of information. Being exposed is probably one of the worst things that they don't want. You can't be worried. You really can't get yourself to flow into those thoughts of trying to cause harm to your gang stalkers, or trying to see if you can find your handlers so you can take them out yourself. You can't allow yourself to go into that realm, because remember, they're modulating your frequencies. They are waiting for you to reach certain emotional points, because then once you get to those points, they can literally lock you into those states, those emotional states. You don't want to end up being locked into an emotional state that is so low in vibration, so unhealthy, so toxic, that eventually you do something that'll completely destroy whatever freedom and privacy you do have right now. And that's not even, we're not even talking about the secret stuff. We're talking about just regular privacy and stuff. Wow, why he look just like Arthur? Now, speaking of seeing people that look like other people, today I done seen 2 different women that look like my girlfriend within 3 minutes of seeing, within 2 minutes of seeing the other woman. I was coming, where was I? I think I was like on my way. Yeah, I was on my way to work. I seen this one woman across the street. She was walking, and I was like, "Dang, she looked just like my girlfriend." And I was like, "Yo, that's crazy. She wear her hair like her, same complexion, same body type." But then she was pregnant, but her face looked almost like her. So I was like, "What?" So then I went to this store, and I'm mad too. I went to this store to go and buy the iPhone Lightning headphone jacks. I bought 2 of them thinking that they were going to work. Tried both of them, none of them worked. But here's the thing though, I believe it's probably something that the handlers had done to my phone, because when I plugged them into the phone, I hear this like little quick static sound, as if like there was something probably trying to go through. Like the idea that I heard a sound through the headphones when I first plug them in, but then all of a sudden, when I hit play on like Spotify or something, it starts playing through the phone speaker. So I'm like, why is it not playing through the headphones and it's continuing to play through the phone speaker? I go to the iPhone's headphone setup, headphone setup settings, and I go to check to see how all the lightning jack settings are. I reset that to try to see if I can get something going, and well, nah, no luck. You know, and it's annoying because I use healing frequencies like I mean, I use them daily. I feel like I am like where I am because I combine a number of different things. Auditory healing frequencies. I haven't really dabbled with using light itself as a healing frequency, but let me see. Okay, I'm looking for 549. I think that's all the way down there by Delancey. All right, and oh, it's getting heavy. I got a lot. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at this. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and focus on this. I'm trying to finish this shift and go home. Yeah. Woo. All right. Take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.